I'm taking 3 months off and catching up with some writing. I've got an agent. It's very hard to get a good agent to publish. Extremely difficult.
Yeah.
I've got an agent after many years. So I've got 3 manuscripts. I'm just upgrading, editing.
Oh, great. So he's going to forward it as opposed to not making promises that he can't keep that other agents would make, right?
Yeah, well, I'm under contract with an agent. It's hard to get a literary agent these days. Very difficult. A good one.
There's a lot of illiterate agents.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Larry.
Just tell me what.
Give it this. Good. So we're doing a bit of writing.
Just looking at Anna Marie from her better days.
Which one?
The one from the Redwoods.
Oh yeah, really?
My
Is she in there? Oh. Yeah.
I finally got a copy tracked down.
Well done.
You think I would
Well,
have?
I'll tell you, you really did a good job on that Redwoods tape, though.
God, no wonder Bigfoot came out of the woods.
Yeah. And she was strong in that.
Betcha. Maybe Meldrum was right. That was a penal display. Could be.
It's a distinct possibility.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Get that on tape.
Oh, yeah.
Peter, how close did Jens come, do you think, to getting one on camera when you had your project going?
Oh, that's impossible to answer. It could have been, next day, could have been a half a mile away, could have been 100 miles away. We moved closer with the knowledge that we gained, the things we learned. We moved closer towards a find. But if you meant that like physically, I don't know if we were ever within 100 yards of one or 100 miles of one.
Uh-huh.
But I think that generally we're closer towards the possibility of a find now, as a result of the studies that we did. So.
With all the terrain that you're looking for, it's worse than the needle in the haystack theory because the needle's moving.
Right.
So I could understand how tough it is for you to even really get a specific 20 square mile area pinpointed down.
Peter, could I ask you regarding the Yeti and your research? I've always been into that. In fact, I spoke at Don's meeting with your basic 25-cent guide to the Yeti and Abominable Snowman. But did you ever talk with Sir Edmund Hillary personally? And why did he launch such a diatribe against the existence of an abominable snowman?
I've talked with him several times, many times in fact, across the years. And the plan of that expedition from the very beginning was to go out and debunk the snowman. It was backed by the Marshall Field organization in Chicago and Marshall Field personally. And I think they were interested in publicity. The other person was Marlon Perkins, remember him?
Marlon was right in there.
And they invited me to Chicago, and I spent 3 days there as their guest. They sort of picked my brains, but they never told me what they were going to do. Hillary himself doesn't believe in it. He's quite honest about that. He's never seen anything. He just doesn't believe in it. Just like there's people who don't believe in the Bigfoot. So they went out there. They spent a very short time actually investigating the Yeti phenomenon. And then they went on to do other things, high altitude experiments and so on. But a very short time, something like a month maybe, no more.
And he smuggled out the Pengbosch scalp, or didn't?
No, that was a finger.
No, they got. They took the Pengbosch scalp out. That's true. Yes.
But they didn't smuggle it, did they?
No, they took it out publicly. They got one of the people from the.
Not James
the
Stewart or
temple
some
there.
American actor.
He had James Stewart take out the finger.
That was something different. That was before something I did. But they had a man come with it. They took him to Chicago, and they did experiments, and they decided that the scalp was made from the skin of a thing called a sorrel, which is actually a goat antelope, and that was that. So,
Even though he saw footprints, didn't Hillary encounter anomalous footprints?
I don't believe he did. I don't
No,
believe
he just
ever
saw the shift and
footprints.
grinned is all I think
Yeah,
he
the
saw.
pictures of the shift in
I
Byrne.
don't believe he ever saw footprints.
Did you ever get a chance to speak with Lord John Hunt or Don Willens or any of the other?
I met most of these people.
And they seemed quite sincere.
Yeah, Willens said he thought he saw one, and John Hunt had a personal experience. They not so long ago, maybe 10 years ago, they were trekking. This is long after the Everest expedition, and they were in camp quite high up at about 15,000. And he was in his 60s then, And they heard this tremendous screaming in the night, powerful sort of roaring screams. And the Sherpas all got out and got very agitated. And they said, it's a Yeti. Nobody saw anything. So he had a personal experience. So Hunt is very open-minded. I have a letter from John.
Why did you say that? I said, you're the one that's always talking purist. You know, the animal, this is an animal, nothing else. And I said, but yet when Stephen starts his crazy stuff, and Stephen Harvey's not a Bigfoot person.
Right.
No, at all.
Right.
He doesn't even believe it exists.
I mean, a good example is, like with his conference, we had Jeff Alverum and Larry Batson, speak. And it cost some money to fly Jeff out from Pocatello, because let's face it, not many airlines fly to Pocatello. So we only have one choice, Delta. So it was like $400 round trip, which is a lot of money for some little group like his to raise up. So basically, during the conference, we just said, Don, take this thing, make an announcement. It was just, that this was paid for out of the pocket by Don. Would you be willing to contribute some money to help offset the cost of the haul, the airfare? And before you know it, boom, it's all covered. I'm seeing there's an ear, 2 eyes, nose, mouth, right there. There's its body. It's going like this. It's either it's behind this tree or it's farther off, and it's peering like this, like this.
You see all those features right there.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming because of the lack of hair there. Now just watch. Watch when I start talking. First, I'll take one more step because I'm still not sure. Look at it.
Bingo, freeze. Oh, you should go back, Mark. And
Well,
freeze that.
I know, but I'm just letting him watch it at normal
right there.
speed. Now watch it'll back up. Just watch. There
I
it
can
goes.
see the movement
There it goes. It's starting to move.
But I can't see the features you're seeing. All I see
now
is
look
white
when
and
it
dark
turns
spots.
to the side. It's looking at a side view, and I'm.
That I can't see. I can't see any features whatsoever. I see light spots and
If
dark
you go
spots
back
moving.
a few frames
I see it
and
move
freeze
though.
it.
There's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
something moving.
yeah,
in
yeah.
there.
Freeze it. I saw what you were talking about, Mark.
I just wish you had a TV like I had. Wait, I haven't gone back. What did I do? Now see, I mean, I'm looking at this thing and I'm just being logical. There's 1 eye, 2 eyes, that must be the nose, this must be the mouth, because that's its head, of whatever it is.
Go advance 2 frames.
2 frames forward.
At one point, it's an 8 like.
Yeah, but when I'm looking at even the guy that does the rainforest, the primatologist said it looks like an orangutan.
Yeah. No, see that right there. It has prominent brow ridge over its eyes.
What's that great big white blob?
Where's this?
Where you're seeing the eyes, the big white blob below it.
That? I would believe that. Wouldn't that be its nose area?
That's right. I was led to believe. Yeah.
I don't know why it would be white.
It's a flat nose. It's got a jaw. It looks a lot like a gorilla face.
I thought it looked.
Yeah, it does.
Right there.
Looks a lot like a gorilla.
It looks as though it's looking forward.
Except the gorilla doesn't have white features.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Did you? Oh, you couldn't get in there and check it and say maybe it was.
I don't think there's any in Don's neck of the woods.
Yeah, see, his VCR, and I got a new one that's like this. You can just do this editing, where you can just sit there and just watch and watch. That's, I mean, the best thing you do is just keep watching.
How far is
That's what we were
Beaverton
doing.
from
Yeah.
here? I have an ex-girlfriend named Tanya. She got into a little trouble.
A little trouble?
A little trouble.
All right,
I
you
must
have,
be
you have
giving the
equipment
camera to Dan,
that
you know?
what John taped tonight you could put on my tape tomorrow sometime.
Do you have the small one or the big one? Big tape.
Oh, it's a VHS.
Yeah, we can just do it right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Put it all right there.
There it is, right there. See it? There's it. I got the face.
Well, to me, it's kind of like looking at clouds.
No, I can see your point, absolutely. But
All I see is black and white.
Okay, now these are rooms in the case over here.
Supposedly. As much as you can tell that.
Doesn't want to be like mom, huh?
No, I told her she has to get a really nice education.
Reminds me,
All these things you see around these wooden boards like this, these bones and that, polished, you'll notice that's when we're on Salt Mystery Site. You'll notice the sighting here of the sleuth. All these things on wooden boards and polished bones and stuff is what I do for Ray as jokes. But he takes me seriously and puts them on display. It's an elk bone. No, he doesn't take me seriously, but it's just good something to see. Did you see this rag? No, I like it.
Well, I didn't make it up.
Well, you should.
But you saw my t-shirt design, didn't you?
No.
Well, looking at my issue of that newsletter I give to you, I got a t-shirt
You got
design now.
You got a new one, huh? Good. I'll mail back when you get home.
No, whatever. Maybe I'll just send you.
These are my shells.
Yeah.
The lead out of the body.
Yeah.
These were extracted for the Bigfoot after I shot it out in my field.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, here comes the critter that was in the uniform.
Uh-oh. There he is. How are you?
Oh, this is great.
The bullets didn't penetrate deep enough. They just killed the costume, and not
Just the
not the
costume.
creature.
Did PB show?
He called last night. Yeah, right after you left, he showed. You stayed till midnight.
You got your coins then?
Yeah, thank you very much for the candy bar and the coin and the photos.
Photos. Did you bring my photos back?
I didn't bring anything. We'll come with them later.
Okay, I need,
One
that's what
more.
I'm gonna talk about up in Canada, you know, my little staple
okay.
together thing. Of,
Yeah.
Ashland,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, if we don't make it back across the bridge, then we're leaving in the morning anyhow.
Uh-huh.
And we'll just bring them on up. You're going right to Renee's, right, when you get there?
Yes, and bring my rubbers.
I'm sorry. Peter had me pour 2 casts in there.
I'm gonna start making,
Yeah, Peter had me pour 2 more to
really?
get some built, yeah. So,
There's quite a few,
you know,
right?
rubbers.
You wouldn't care to clarify that, would you?
Well, yes, the rubber moldings of the Bigfoot.
You saw them at my house.
Yeah, I know. I just you know.
What did you think I was
Oh,
talking
I know what I'm talking
That new
about.
stuff that literature on yesterday, I guess it's really flexible and easier to do than that.
Yes,
Paper
okay.
rubber, so.
Oh, for the little head, okay.
Yeah, we maybe try it on that Sasquatch head.
Bigfoot Glen, was that wine?
Mm-hmm. The guy sent me out of the blue a whole case of that one day.
Mine's
I even gave him one, but he smashed it.
Mine's my glass case at
I'll
home.
give you 2.
How was it?
You know,
Just like any other one.
well, everybody up there at the trial that year that tasted it said it was a little sweet,
Uh-huh,
but they said it was okay.
Same with this blonde here.
uh-huh.
A little on the sweet side. Otherwise, okay.
Cheap stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take anything with a Bigfoot on it.
I just wish you had more information about Bigfoot.
Well, we're looking.
Oh, well, let me show you back here, Mark.
John. Sure, these guys are all smart, 7 o'clock, whatever, making noise.
All ready to be transferred.
And you got to get up that early, have to be not that, coming from back in Ohio and have to stay out that late.
Oh, wow. These casts are great. What, do you sell casts, right?
Yeah, we have the two of them that,
That I have.
that Larry has, that pedal those,
Where do those go for?
20 is all
Yes.
there.
That film crew from London I shot with yesterday bought
Get it back to
2 each. They weren't by 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard was saying. Yeah.
You'd be better off.
I have a place down the street that mails them, it's in UPS.
My daughter does that too. That actually UPS too. And, I've only had one in the last year. Say it was tracking that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, plus my dad's a plastic modeler, he can build airplanes.
Now, what is this right here?
That was a hair sample that was sent to me, they told me it was Bigfoot, but we had it tested and it was not, it was just dog hair. And we get a lot of samples like that from in the stores, elk, especially elk.
It's good use.
I had a fellow send me some squirrel hair once he had found from I hadn't had it identified as a squirrel. He had found the hair, our guess is that the creature probably ate the squirrel.
Hey, my tooth is blade, so you lose. Let's see again.
Somebody's probably been messing with it.
He's the one that
Is
barked.
this a dropping?
Yes, but I don't think it's a Bigfoot. Same thing. It's a little tiny thing.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of hair in it, so it's probably coyote or cougar. Cat.
You said you were 12 feet up. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there's just a
Yeah, I
lot of
saw.
blood next to that huge pile in there.
Yeah.
That one might be a good one. It's about had these little red things in it. You can see one in there, and we finally identified this as being rose hips, wild rose hips. Was that you just making a noise? Oh, okay. No, there's somebody walking upstairs.
No, it's me.
He's hitting a tree.
Yeah.
The rhythm.
Yeah.
I tracked a Bigfoot.
Sure. Or get your gloves out like
You
him.
gonna have everybody wearing those WBS pins up there, are you?
I didn't make any money.
So you have droppings in Ziploc bags, test tubes, spice jar, anything else? I'm trying to get detail for the...
What do we have? Now, our hair we gave to the one to the museum down the south.
I just think I
All
need to
kinds of
see
stuff.
that. I really
was
wanted to
done.
see that
We gave
here.
it long hair, but it's long, red, black base, one tapered on the end.
Uh-huh.
I say tapered that.
How long? About 6 inches long?
8.5 inches long, right?
Yeah, 8.5.
I was attacked by a pansy Bigfoot.
Taper on it, so that,
I was
There's a lot of info.
Peter smuggling the finger.
yeah,
Who was it who took it?
James Stewart. His
James-
wife,
Jimmy
Jimmy Stewart. I almost said Jimmy Stewart.
his wife smuggled it back.
Well, he was real old and he did that.
The
The
thing was,
Pangbosh
when they
hand?
got back to the States.
Pangbosh
they
hand?
landed,
Pardon?
The Pangbosh hand is a...
Yes, I'm
Just really told me.
and they called and said,
Peter
"Piece of your
came to our
left
meeting
hand."
one night and gave us a rundown on all that. It was just funnier than hell.
Chocolate bar?
He's a real comedian sometimes.
That
It was a pleasure to speak with last night, Rick. You're real lucky.
And then I found a big.
Yeah, he was,
They're made
in,
of important, I can't remember.
On a tiger hunt once, on the back of an elephant with his client.
Across from the check.
They were in this deep bamboo grass, overhead height. But the only way the natives could find each other was they took these big long poles that stuck way up above the grass, and they go along, they're beating the animals in, the tiger in towards the elephant so they can shoot him. And they're all in a big long line like this Peter is saying, and womp, 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 and all of a sudden, "Arrgh!" all of a sudden you see all them poles come together and exit like that. The way you told it just really cracked you up.
They found it all right.
And like Grover Krantz has the gigantic jawbone.
That's good.
You know, gigantic black eye is the main thing that you get turned out.
No, it is not.
And so
my
now he's
Homo
got
erectus.
x-rays. No.
Yeah.
Renee told you about your Homo erectus already.
So excess stuff that you don't have room for is back here?
Yeah, just
Whoa.
stacked of
Boxes of files and books and records.
records,
and
back to
newspaper
45
clippings.
records of Bigfoot.
How many 45s do you think you have?
Oh, it's sort of, some guy had made them and never did sell them, and he just
Oh.
gave me all of his boxes of them.
Couple hundred?
6 boxes.
A few hundred of the
Quite a
same
bit.
song?
Yes.
But there are others
Uh-huh.
with the albums and
I noticed that up front, yeah.
Speaking of which, do you have my old BC records still?
no, I made tapes off them, remember? They're in the case, aren't they?
Did you, it was on top of the case, but it seemed like you wanted to get it again because something you'd missed on it?
No, we're missing one record. There's only 4 records and the set was a set of 5. We never did get the 5th record. And I called Canada, the company is out of business.
Really, I don't have it.
They gotta be it, we'll find it.
What is
We'll
that?
find it.
Oh, it's a bath mat. Shaped like a giant foot. Friend got it down in Florida. There's people coming up with this stuff all the time.
They've got them in Payless and High School Pharmacy over in Vancouver. My daughter bought me one and,
And this one came from Florida.
well, that's good, that's better.
It's an alien one.
Yeah.
Great stuff, huh?
So great, I just love it.
Then, of course, my walking sticks are much better now. These are 2 or 3 years old. Now I carve heads on them.
We gotta do some updates on them.
Yeah, a picture metal with a head on it.
Have you ever seen this one? I think you would like to read this one, probably already have.
One you've written?
Huh?
One you've written? Larry tells me it used to be on TV.
Sure.
Mr. Wilson, Cabinet of Wonder. I've seen it, but I've never read it.
It's about a guy who has a little museum in Los Angeles.
Really?
Natural Objects of Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminds me of this place. You should look for that book.
Mr.
I gave it
Wilkins.
to you right now, but I'm going to use it this afternoon while I'm
I
writing these.
understand,
I'll pick that one up. And no, I'm not gonna write a story about you and your stuff. But I might.
So he told me, he admitted to me that he's the culprit. He's the
He's the
defendant.
killer, yes, he's the killer.
It was self-defense, that's all there is to
Hanging.
it. It evidently was true because I was
You
acquitted.
deliberately went out there and shot that thing. You knew it was against the law to shoot one in that county.
Paul
You had the
Harvey.
rifle in your hand.
Paul Harvey said on the following Monday that I was innocent.
There's photographic evidence of you standing there like that on top of the critter.
Yeah, but you're still walking around, he was in the costume.
In Skamania County?
To get
Yeah.
along Skamania County.
Yeah, I shot
Well,
it
this
just
place
north
is
of it.
against the law to kill.
Yeah.
Right. And guess when it went on the books? April 1st, my birthday, April Fool's Day. So I have another thing added to my birthday.
And the reporter called me up and asked me sometime, what's that whole thing in April Fool's joke?
No, it's actually on the books.
I had reporters calling me from the Cleveland area. Are you serious about this conference?
Mm-hmm.
Is there really something like that in our state?
Just about every state.
Is there?
All right.
Reports from every state.
There are
Except for
reports
Rhode
from-
Island and Hawaii don't have reports. We do have one out of Rhode Island that was kind of tongue-in-cheek maybe 10 years ago. But every other state has its own creature and, sets of it, whatever, and have their different names, like the skunk ape and, they have just...
Plus, there's lots of researchers that, have their own little groups. I guess not like meetings, but they actually have their own little, they have their own little research centers. I know.
Now, what other names besides skunk ape, Sasquatch, and Bigfoot?
Oh, there was the
Yeti.
Mothman.
Oma.
The what?
Mothman and Oma.
As a matter of fact, I wrote an article on Western Public that Bigfoot was a big city. What's the park over here? I know what the list. Oh, what we think? Yeah. I need a little lab. Well, it's backed up by this one side, the lady in the house, Hey, man, out the water. And I'm on this way. You're right to get a husband. I think we got his number at night. It's a name. That's hard. A lot of them moving. We have a large number of daylight reports.
Yep. We can go anywhere we want.
You can.
Where do you guys want to go?
I got one of those rechargeable,
This thing will beat the brush, let me tell you. Knock you right out of there.
So you can have
We brought all of our Bigfoot back in this one. Every one we've gotten
Have you?
came back in this truck.
Where are they at?
Well, we sold them because we wanted to make a movie.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
Not. Head. Not head. Yeah, there you go.
I found his track though. See his track?
I'm on film.
Yeah, oh, wow. That's impressive. Let me get a close-up of that.
That's a Bossberg track. See the cripple foot bowl to the side?
Oh, yep. You betcha, buddy.
This is the baby though.
Yeah?
You see that, Check? This is a baby Bigfoot. Washington style.
Washington. That's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's impressive. And how old was it when it was
Slimy.
slimy?
Slimy. But you can erase them anytime you want. Oh.
Yeah. It was like a female.
Yeah, it is. Hey, this is a female track, Rob. Rob just gave it to me.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it's a female track, see?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't notice that.
No
Took Don's keen eye to pick that up. He's thinking, see if my bunnies are out. God, I didn't even feed them last night.
Perfectly aligned. Your light just mount just like that. The wire's already there. Take a little pick. I mean, the only thing I would do when you're set up there is see your wires. Get some of the little black tubing. You know, cover your wires. Moisture will eventually get into the back of your light.
Tractor time trial.
Try it out.
You got the quickest trip around the backfield and back with the mower going though.
Those guys are really nasty.
Those are the ones that they have to be on.
Get that to paint our fence top so
Nice truck.
No, I was filming you. Don't worry about it.
See, his name is Jimmy.
Yes, it is.
This I've been telling him he drives like a little Geo, which gets great gas mileage and everything, but he wonders why his front end, U-joints, tie rods, bearings.
No, I don't wonder why. I just keep trashing it.
You know, it's only driving on hard, coarse gravel roads, dirt roads. But I tell him, Don, you need one of these. And he said, well, Rob Butler wrote me a letter and said, have it. Came out.
My mom let me send.
Yeah, this thing gets all 8 miles to the gallon.
You're a kid.
That's around town. I get 11 on the highway.
My 400 gets better mileage than that.
That's what I guess it's for. Give our friends now.
But this has only got 2 barrels. The person that had it before me took the 4 barrel off. No, I meant there's 2 barrel on it. So the 2 barrels actually overworking and giving it more gas. Because the 4 barrel would have the smaller primaries and only to use the secondaries when it's needed. And the 2 barrels screwed me up. I said, it runs good. I don't want to mess with it.
Oh no, then there's Don.
For all my old trucks, I mess with them.
My God. You want to see my best side?
Mess with them.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at your reverse side now, right?
Yeah. This is my worst side. Here's my best side.
Oh, there it is. Uh-oh.
The Ohio split.
Yeah, there you go. Right down the middle of the state.
My best side.
The big mileage change came when I went from 33 to 35.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when it happened.
Some form of four-legged.
It was coyote.
Coyote, cougar, coyote.
I thought it was a cougar.
No, it's a coyote.
There's a cat.
Hot Springs Road?
Huh?
On Hot Springs Road?
After making the right by the gas station, coming down.
That's Hot Springs Road.
Yeah. It was taking its time too. It really didn't get care of it.
Yeah, it was a coyote. I'm telling you.
It was a domestic cat.
It was a quadruped. Can I get your names again? I'm sorry. What class was that? You are
Marc DeWerth.
Marc DeWerth?
Strongsville, Ohio.
You came all the way from Ohio? For the...
I came all the way from Boston. And I walked.
Yeah, we picked him up because
You ever see the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
That was him.
That was him just getting here.
we picked him up because we felt sorry for him.
I can sympathize with that. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is my story all the way.
In rafts, I'm sure.
Rafts? Did you tell him about the raft I built?
Rickshaw, I came by park with my friend Ling. He carried me. Sorry, mistress.
Anyways, I'm sorry, one more time. I want to get your name. I'm terrible with names. What's your first name? Mark?
DeWerth.
You are?
Chuck Storrie.
Mark?
John Horrigan.
John?
Horrigan.
Keating. You sound familiar. That name sounds familiar. John Keating.
Ohio. He's the eminent researcher of Ohio.
Are you the one? I don't want to videotape you got from Ohio? Remember that creature rummaging around that old house? That was a different fellow?
No, that was me.
That was Bob. That was a guy named Bob Daigle.
That's the first Bigfoot researcher I ever met, and he goes, oh,
where do you guys live? I go, here. I told him where I live. He goes, you know, I take the turnpike to go home. I'll be right by there. You know, I could show you some real, you know, exclusive video footage I didn't show down here. I said, well, okay, whatever. So my wife and I invite him in our house, and he shows us that. And we're just looking at each other, just kind of like, oh, I can't believe this. And it's like, oh, it's nice, Bob. Have a nice to talk to you. And we just laugh. He goes, you can have a copy. Yeah.
About ready to crash.
Here's my card. Right there, honey. I also have the Bay State Bigfoot Society, BSBS, twice the BS in your normal headquarters.
Love the BS.
My partner at the Bay State Bigfoot Society yet has had a sighting ever.
I'm not a researcher. I'm not an investigator. Heck, I don't know what I am.
But you got these awfully pretty looking cards.
Well, thank you very much. We're on film. Okay.
So what you got on tape?
I'll show you.
So, how long have you been out on the island?
Well, it's Sunday now. So, well, we'll go to yesterday. 27, 28, 29 days.
Wow. Intent?
You have one tied up yet?
And Sasquatch tied up? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, I got them all tied up all over the place.
We'd like to come over and pat
And you
one
should
on
have
the
spoke
head.
Friday night. Between the psychic people and...
Are you guys going back tomorrow? Or is that you guys
Yeah.
going back Monday night?
We fly out, you know.
I mean, are you going back to the symposium tomorrow, or are you guys done with you are?
Yeah. Well, we're going to spend some time with John.
Yeah.
Had something going tomorrow to take out to breakfast, but we won't eventually meander back there.
I'd like to go to that. Anyway. I'll show you this tape I gathered last night. Do you want to see it?
Yes.
Would you mind, John?
It's pretty much set up. It's in the area, right?
Hey, John. Would you mind filling a glass of water?
Did you want to operate the controls, John? You already got your hands on it. Set this up a bit. Another Sasquatch hunter and myself. He took me to a site he often goes to.
And of Live Aid. What is Webley's table?
Anyway, he took me to this.
Mark, will you wait down?
I've seen them done like this before. Now I just assumed it to be cat scat. But I don't know many cats that eat green.
You're on the island, Mike.
Yeah. It's me getting out of my tent.
Your tent is still on the island?
All my stuff's there right now. I'm going back tomorrow. I plan on being out there for another 70 days.
70?
If I can.
Good man.
Just taking pictures of the green.
How do you recharge your batteries?
I was a big headache. I got an AC inverter now. So an AC inverter hooked up to a car battery.
Recharge his battery.
I got a little solar panel.
Where'd you get that mountain kit at?
Went right to Harrison. And I was gone until Sunday. I was gone almost a week. While I was gone, I didn't even notice this. I almost stepped in it yesterday. Something came in here and shit in my tent. Now, I actually squished it with this rock. I was trying to put the rocks here and I squished part of it. But, here's the puzzling part. I've seen this kind of dropping before, up and back there. I know there's not much of it, but when I saw it back in the bush, there was a lot of this hair.
Yeah.
See? And there was a pile here, and then you go up 20 feet, there's another big pile, and you go up another 20 feet, another big pile. Now, what's interesting about this is you can see the color in here. It's obviously a meat eater, whatever you drop this, right? Yeah. Plus there's grains in here. There's one there, there's one there. So, I don't think that's cougar scat. We got the hair, and on top of that, there's a 14-inch track.
Which direction is that facing?
Facing that way here, the toes. There's the heel.
Should
be another one over here. trying to say this ground's really hard.
Yeah, it is, yeah, I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah. But, my point is...
Has rain fallen on that?
Yeah, it's been raining all week, 2 weeks straight. And I just covered it the last couple of days. So it was fairly fresh. While I wasn't here, something dropped back here. But look at the hair now, and look how long it is.
The hair's in the jar.
The color. Now I'm trying to think, why would Sasquatches be swallowing hair? Their own hair?
Well, they've been known to be seen eating rodents whole.
That's not rodent hair, though. That's obviously plain seed.
Yeah, long hair.
Long hair.
But it would be an explanation as to why some hair would be in there.
Yeah.
Did you move this over here?
Yeah. I kind of did exactly what you're doing now, just kind of poking away. Man, a poop. Then I started thinking,
Well, the diameter is awful small, okay?
well, first, okay, that's the diameter. Like you can see, there was that big part there. That's all flattened down now. The diameter was about that big. Okay, you can just see the width.
Yeah.
Right there, that one. That was the diameter. There was a smaller piece. Now it's a very small dropping. I would say it came from like a cougar or a bear or something, but nothing else in my camp was touched. Nothing. Nothing. Something came in here, took a crap. A big animal with an anus about that big.
Well, if this was like an animal on 4 legs, like a dog, you're looking at something that weighs around 50 pounds. Probably the size of, smaller than a German Shepherd. It's not known to have any coyotes or wolves on this island. Looking like cougar to me.
Cougars only eat grains, though. That's what I'm thinking.
Well,
And I see that track. Well, it's
the grain could have been in the stomach or something else.
Yeah, I thought of that too.
Let's have a look at this track over here.
The only reason I'm so skeptical about this particular dropping is because I've seen droppings identical to this, back up by that lake, but there was much more of it, and it was longer. And it was longer. I mean, there was a pile, about a human-sized pile, and you'd go 20 or 30 feet, and there was more. It was like it was walking its string on another little pitch. It was walking.
You've seen this, have you?
I've seen it just 20
I know what
minutes
you're
that way.
talking about.
So,
How recently did you see that up there?
when I first got here, the first week I was here. This is day
This year or last year's expedition?
This year.
We'll have to take a hike up there and find some more of that to see it.
But I recognized the hair in the dropping. The hair was in that, and it's here. So,
Well, that hair can be analyzed. It has certain characteristics to it.
yeah.
See, it's got 2 colors to it. And that's a characteristic of certain creatures. Other creatures don't have that. So that might be its own hair because it's licking itself, or it might be the hair of what it ate. The hair seems to be in relatively good condition there. It doesn't look like it's been processed by stomach acid, etc.
No.
The previous
The
dropping I found
question
had
I
a
wanted
lot
to
of
ask
hair.
somebody is if
A lot of hair.
when hair is digested, can it do
Pretty
so
much
much?
mainly hair.
What happens to hair when it's digested?
It can break up entirely and disintegrate. Hair will do that. And you get it in your bathroom sink or something, and it's in water, it'll soften up eventually disintegrate. But, soap and other things get in there too and prevent it. So this track over here, if you notice, it looks like there's toe prints and a heel print, right?
Yeah.
There's no compression in between.
Well, again, look at the ground. Now, I mean, you can stomp on this ground all you want, and it's within a half an hour, you would never see anything there. The Sasquatch did come. Now, you can see.
So what you're saying is that
I'm saying,
bare spot there is where the toes were.
and it kicked up a bit, and because the heel has so much more of the weight, and it's stuffed than the rest of the foot, that's why this little area is.
It's a matter of opinion on how you look
I've
at
seen
it.
14-inch tracks on the Dalles before, and it fits in with that.
A
Unfortunately,
14-inch track will indicate about 40 inches of the next stride.
I haven't been able to find anything else. So.
Nothing else. There's nothing.
Well, then again, you are much better at this than I am. I figured if a Sasquatch did take a shit here, it would wipe its ass with its hand and probably lick it.
Righty.
It goes on.
Here the camera screws up.
Okay, take that watch. You want to watch what you're saying? Okay, all right.
Anyway, he took me to a spot he always goes to, and he did this typical call. We got a response last night. This is it right here. That's the creature. That's John. That's John, my buddy, doing that. Then it responds.
Telling you, I told you the whole damn thing.
I'm gonna run that big light in a second. Jared, I have a plan. Just trying to imitate me. Just trying to go lower. We should stay here all night long tonight. If not, I'm gonna. Mike, I want to get my... This thing could take you apart, man. So be it. Go around and see what it is. I'm gonna run a tape any second. Take it off. Stop. You might save it. Save the tape. He won't call. He only answers. He wants an interrupted.
Well, a bunch of apples there. Let me go back and see what happens.
Now, that's the exact same sound I have recorded that call you, that sound.
Looks at me, you can tell it's impressed me to the ground quite deep. I'm just gonna walk out here.
Look at the size of that track.
There's my whole weight on there. It doesn't compress it anywhere near as much, and I weigh 200 with my clothes on. I gotta be by 210. With my pack and stuff, I gotta be by 220. And that's gotta be twice as deep.
It doesn't show up
Like your knife, right? Like my knife, we can measure that back later. But I'll tell you. 9.5.
Sandwich, tender seasoned chickens.
You could see the track with the naked eye, though?
Oh yeah, I do all over the place. I mean, I've seen, literally, I mean, my personal opinion, dozens, if not 100.
Out on the island?
You cast any of them?
Of all of them, I've only seen one that probably could have taken the casting.
Yeah, that's usually the case. That sound, now you heard that sound? That's exactly what we had up at the films. The night we were out there with the Newells, and it just...
Like impressive stuff.
I wish I would have brought that tape. I got it recorded perfect like that.
So you have a car battery whereby you recharge your camera batteries?
I got a small solar panel that trickle charges the car battery. Then I have an AC inverter which transfers DC to AC. Then I plug in my camcorder battery and I can recharge my camcorder battery. That's a system I had planned on working, and it hasn't worked for the last month until yesterday. Because the AC inverter broke on me. My buddy that you saw on tape just fixed it. So now it works.
Basically, what he's saying, you can convert off.
Tell me about your experience of the other night. John had relayed an experience where you were in your tent,
first experience last year? First of all, I came out here on holidays. I was a, steel worker. I came out here on holidays. I read John's book, and I just wanted to meet John, more or less. Videotape him.
Everybody wants
to meet John. I'm sure he's met everybody. But anyways, I met him, and I was all excited, and there's a fella here in town that told me that he had an experience on the island, so why not go to the island, right? That's where it's happening. Good place to start. My first day I get there, I'm all excited. I go romping through the bush. I got my camera in my hand, and this is a print here. I'm talking to my camera and narrating as I'm going along, and I even got lost. Got lost in the bush. Anyway, to make a long story short, I finally make it back to my camp. There's people there. They're weekend campers. We get along. We're semi-partying. You have hot toddies happening and everything. Turn into bed. Around 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm laying in bed. And not my usual camping mode because I've had a couple of drinks. I got some campers down just 100 feet away from me, so I'm kind of comfortable. I don't have all my stuff ready. Usually your machete, your axe, and everything else, your bear spray, and your camera, and you're always ready. You have your pants on and everything. Well, this particularly, I just slept in my underwear. I was completely comfortable. I guess it was around 3 o'clock in the morning. Just bang, out of nowhere. There was a heavy, it sounded like a locomotive going by. It was just a heavy stomping. What it was doing, it was stomping while panting. It sounded like a big monster. It stamped 4, 5, or 6 times. I can't remember now. Bang, bang, bang. The whole ground shook. I tell people this, and nobody actually gets it. My whole body actually came off the ground and landed again. Came off the ground and landed again when it drove its foot into the ground.
Now, is there any grizzly bear on that island?
No. Okay, continue. Anyway, I was totally terrified, stricken with fear. I froze. And then it stopped. I went on for maybe. See how you were right. Memory does fade when you try and recall the instance. Anywhere between 5 and 10 seconds, it went on. I reached around fast, grabbed my grizzly bear mace, opened up my tent fly, and I ran through the bush, and I had my hand. Could have been this one or that one. I don't remember. One of my hands were waving in front of me because it was so dark. I couldn't see the trees. I was running with my underwear through the bush, so I wouldn't hit a tree. I'm running. I'm screaming for my life. This is Sasquatch, Jason. This is Sasquatch. Run down to the docks. And at the dock, there's a boat down there with the people I was partying with earlier in the night. They had 2 dogs, 2 or 3 kids. I think there was 3 kids and 2 adults in the boat. I went running down there, and I thought for sure everybody heard it. It was so loud, I thought it echoed through the entire valley. And I woke them up. They had no idea what was going on. They thought I was a screaming lunatic. And they wouldn't wake up and check out my story. So I'm standing there on the dock. They went back to sleep in my underwear. And I guess I sat out there for 45 minutes, just shaking, shivering. Midnight, my underwear on the dock. Woke them up again. So can I borrow a flashlight? I want to go back. Mind you, I wasn't so calm as I am now. I was pretty much hysterical. Borrowed his flashlight. I went back to my tent. I'm shining around, looking around. My tent was still open. My sleeping bag was hanging out. Grabbed my sleeping bag, get by the corner, and I ran back down to the dock, dragging it through all the leaves and the pine needles and the dirt. I laid it out in the dock, and I climbed in the sleeping bag right next to the boat. And I laid there. And then, like I said, 45 minutes to an hour had passed since what had happened. Then I heard it get into the water. It was maybe 30 to 50 feet away. But it came so slow. It was like stealthily moving so slow.
Waiting.
It was waiting. I guess it would be maybe the water would be 5 to 6 feet deep. But it was going so slow where it wouldn't disturb the water. And the water was glass calm. Not a ripple anywhere. But I could hear it because the water was so glass calm. It took a long time to get to me. A distance of 30 to 50 feet. It took 10 or 15 minutes to get to me. I could hear it coming closer and closer and closer. I was getting more and more scared, more and more scared. I'm thinking, is this really happening? Is this real? Was my mind playing tricks on me? And I could actually feel its presence as it got closer and closer. And it came right under the dock, right beneath me, and I wouldn't look either way. I was staring up into the sky. And I heard it scratching at the dock boards right under my head. And And then it went that way. The boat moved a bit. I don't know if it hit the boat or if someone was turning over in the boat. And then it made more noise as it walked away. I could definitely hear it walking away. I heard it get out of the water, and I heard it thump, thump, thump as it walked along the bridge on the way.
You didn't try to shine the light on it?
No, I didn't move a muscle. I didn't move a muscle.
And that was the event, end of the event.
And that was the end of the event.
You heard it enter the water, and you're sure that it scratched underneath your
on my mother's life.
And have you had any supplementary events on this year's expedition?
The first or second night up there was a complete disaster. I had my bear mace in my pocket. I went for a hike in the bush, found all kinds of tracks and stuff, blah, blah, blah. And you can hear it walking around. When it comes to the bush, it uses this great big creature, smash, 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 coming to the bush. Sometimes it doesn't want to make noise. Sometimes it makes noise on purpose. Like I'm actually getting to know it. But this particular night, it didn't care. It was walking around, smash, 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 and it ran towards the camp. You know, you can see, you're waiting for it to come through the tree line at you, but it would break the tree line. And then I was getting scared. It was getting dark. So this was just as it was getting dark. So I was trying to light my lantern. I want light now. My lantern wouldn't work. I had car headlights taped into trees with the battery, and one of the lights burned out. What else went wrong that night? My flashlight wasn't working right. The mace exploded in my pocket. I ended up getting mace on my hand, a grizzly bear mace, and then my face. My nose was running, my eyes were running, the Sasquatch was freaking out behind the bush, and it was getting darker and darker, and I was getting scared. So I went down, I'm right on a beach, so I'm sitting with my back to the water now, and I kept putting my face in the water because it was nice and cold, trying to wash my face off, and it was burning hot, my leg was burning hot, and it stopped. I mean, I guess I was the show. It must have been sitting there just laughing at me. Since the original that was marching around in the bush. And then it saw me doing my little parade and circus act. It stopped. Since then, I've heard it walking around in the bush, but I can't be sure it was it. You know, I hear something big walking around in the bush. I've seen lots of tracks. Lots of tracks. Pardon me?
All the same size?
No. I know there's for sure one on the island. Probably 3, maybe 4, 5, or 6. All the tracks I found. I can't be sure because the terrain, it's all moss and dirt and rock. And I'll look at a track and I'll say that's a track. And I'll get out and measure it and I'll find more like that. But you get someone else and I say that's a track, they can look at it and say that's not a track. It's a matter of opinion.
Train that.
Yeah. So I look at it and I can recognize it. When you look, they're everywhere. Everywhere. And sure, maybe I'm misidentifying lots of tracks, but not when they're consistently sizes and they have like a 40-inch stride or whatever. You know, you can find, boom, there's one, there's another one, there's another one.
This footage of today, was this today that we looked at?
That was last night.
Last night. You go away from your camp and this thing's trudging around, crapping in your camp.
Well, that crap happened. I was out at camp for a week. It's so hard for me to get back and forth to my camp. I have to canoe. A 20-mile trip to go back and forth to camp, and I don't like doing that.
20 miles?
Yeah, and it's depending on the weather. If the weather's bad in the lake, I gotta wait out the weather. I gotta try and beg for a ride back to a motorboat or something. So I was out for 6 days, and while I was out, that's when something dropped. I didn't even notice it. I was decorating the camp that particular day with the stuff, and I looked down and, whoa, there's a crap there in my camp. So I went up the video camera. And I found another crab just coincidentally that day. And I didn't get it on tape, but I don't know if I told you that crab. And John Miles looked at it and he said, that's Sasquatch crab. I said before, it's definitely Sasquatch crab. That's his, you know, he'll tell you the same thing.
Well, I hate to be part of it, I'm on the bed.
Good night, Tom.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Hope you see you soon. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Gonna hold up the other one for you.
Lord knows we all need it.
Yeah.
Good job speaking tonight.
Thanks. See you in the morning, John.
And this here, Mike, is also what you believe to be scat.
That was in scat.
And
with hair in it.
notice the hair there, Chuck?
May 2-4 weekend, there was a bunch of, where I'm camped, it's a popular campsite, and campers come up almost every weekend, especially on the nice ones. Anyways, this particular weekend there was two couples, and one of the couples had a kid. And we got very friendly and partying, and they know I'm into Sasquatch hunting. I tell everybody, I don't care. We can make a big joke of it. I can make fun of it too. And anyway, their last morning there, I guess it was Sunday morning, we all wake up out of my tent, they're in their tents. And they said, what are you doing? You walking around our camps, or our tents early in the morning? They thought it was me. So I said, well, explain to me what happened. And they said, well, somebody was walking around the tents. So immediately I look around, and sure enough, I find 2 tracks, 16.5 inches long, with a big handprint right behind their tent, which is another thing I left out. Beside my tent, that night last year, there was a great big clear 16.5 inch print in the moss. Toes, everything clear as day. And all the moss was laid down flat behind my tent. I figured it probably belly crawled or crawled up to my tent. Listen to me breathing. I was in there. Got up, positioned itself, and stamped up a big clear print for me next to my tent. And that's when I saw that. Like up to that point, I was enthused for looking for Sasquatch and being Sasquatch country, getting a video. But at that point, I realized that was a real creature. I was a few feet, literally from here to that chair, away from the Sasquatch, separated by darkness in a tent.
What was the breathing like? I mean, what's the best you
throat
can...
is easily as big as this jar. Massive volumes of air going in and out. I looked through my top of my tent, and I expected to see this. I expected to see it. It was so dark I couldn't see anything, but it was just so huge. It was just huge. If you were to lay down beside an elephant and close your eyes, you could just feel the elephant's presence. No doubt. You know what I mean?
Did it seem to you like it was something that was sick? Like it had a chest cold or something like that?
No, it seemed to me like a sprinter who had just finished running a race was breathing really, really, really heavy.
It sounded almost like the breathing of a Hollywood monster.
Yeah, exactly. That's like how it sounded. Mm-hmm. Exactly. It sounded like a big, big monster.
Mm-hmm. Any smell?
No smell at all.
None
whatsoever.
No smell. What about, you've never seen any red eyes or any eyes? And how about the feeling of being watched constantly?
That was really weird. Earlier that day, when I was out filming and stuff, I even got it on camera. I got the camera, I think something's over there. I'm looking around, I didn't hear anything or anything, but I never gave much credit to that feeling of being watched, that feeling. And I had that feeling, and then that night, that's what happened. And then another time I had that feeling when I was up in the bush. I had that feeling, I just got so scared, and I heard the thumps. You can hear the thumps in the walking. It sounds like the movie Jurassic Park. It's exactly how it sounds. Exactly. So I heard the thumps and I was out of there. I was learning. Last year was a learning experience for me. I was in the bush looking for Sasquatch. Every time I got close, I ran.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I was scared.
Why not?
I'm trying to overcome that now, though.
You carry a weapon with you? No?
I would if I could, but I don't. I just have my bear mace, which exploded on me.
I find that very odd that everything electrical or battery powered or propellant went on you.
Looking back on it now, it was bad luck. Yeah, it was all my fault. I was poorly prepared.
And you were nervous?
And I was very nervous. I had my bear mace in my pocket, and it slipped lengthwise, so it went along the entire length of my pocket. Every time you straighten your leg, or your pant gets wrapped tight around your leg, of course it's got some pressure on the nozzle of the bear mace.
Sure. Okay.
So that's what happened with the bear mace. As far as the headlights go, I just yanked them out of my car. They weren't brand new. The lantern was very, very old. I'd never had a problem with it before, but that night the seal on the O-ring seal went, and I couldn't maintain any pressure. So it's just compounded bad luck problems. I don't attribute any of it to Sasquatches being able to.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to reach that. Does it seem interested in your food stuff?
Not at all. I've got. Sometimes, like right now, I got an orange. When I eat food, I do this all the time. This is something I don't tell you. Whenever I eat food when I'm by myself, I try to make it it's a very dramatic event. This is good, you know, whatever. And I walk around my camp, and I make a big. Every time I do something like that, it's a big dramatic. It's a big act. I'm always acting. Every time I do anything, it's a big act. And then I'll leave an orange out to see what happens. I don't leave it out as bait. I'll just like forget it's there. You know what I'm saying? Because I think they're smart enough to know that what you're doing is a trap. But I just leave an orange out. You may think I can take it. I know where everything is in my camp, absolutely everything. And if anything's missing or moved, I know it.
Are they just something getting them?
Nothing. I didn't think anything came into my camp ever until that one night when those campers told me someone was walking around, and the other day something took a crap in my camp.
Last night.
No, that particular incident didn't happen anywhere near my camp. That was 4 or 5 miles away.
Okay, but
no, not that far, 3 or 4 miles away.
Defecation was last night.
Defecation was Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday. It was Wednesday when I found it, and I got back on Sunday, so I could have been sitting there for a few days. I might have even been there. It looked fairly fresh, so I'm not an expert on how old crap is once it's there.
Certainly, it looked very fresh.
It looked fairly fresh.
How long have you been out there since May? Or how long?
May 8th was my
May
first day.
8th. Okay, so just over a month you've been out there.
Yeah.
And just a few anomalous events. But you begin to accept that dramatic display that it put on last year was an effort to drive you out, which it nearly did, or did it. But this year, I'm saying, is almost accepting your presence and knows your odor.
No.
No?
I have a theory. My theory is that the one that came down and scared me out of, because I left the next morning after that whole incident.
Okay.
I left.
Okay.
It took me a couple days to come into town. Remember, I tried to get people to come back out there with me. Nobody wanted anything to do with it. So I got a couple days of courage and I went back out there for the holidays. But my opinion now, after what I've learned, I think the creature that came down, the particular individual, is a mother. I think, because I haven't really been back to that area, the south end of the island. I'm saving that for particular. I don't want to go in there and ruin my planned experiments. It has to be very well thought out. I'm doing the other end of the island, but when I went into this south end of the islands, which is where I think they spend most of their time, I invaded their space. And I think this mother has a very young one with an 8-inch track. I've seen lots of 8-inch tracks. So I think being a protective mother, invading their space, whatever, being by myself, she felt comfortable enough to come down and intimidate me. That's just my theory. I don't know anything about how other things behave in other situations, but it's just what I feel after learning what I've learned.
But, okay, so that's why you haven't ventured into its quote-unquote lair that you think is the end of the island.
I've got different things planned I intend on doing when I get down there. But every time I go into that end of the I'm a little scared to go down there by myself. So when I go down there, it has to be well thought out, well planned. I don't want to screw it up at all. I've been there a month. I plan on 3.5 months. I'm learning, like by looking at these different tracks, I'm learning what's going on. And I'm learning who, like before I thought there was only one individual. I'm learning there might be 5 or 6.
Population. May I ask you this? When you felt you were being watched, was it an eerie silence?
That's always eerie silence. Like the birds aren't chirping or nothing, but sometimes that happens. And sometimes you notice the birds aren't chirping, but you don't get that eerie feeling. You know, it's just a weird feeling. You get scared all of a sudden for no reason. You're walking through the bush, nothing's bothering you, but all of a sudden you're scared. You're really scared. Like you feel like you're in danger. That's the best way to describe it.
What are you hoping to accomplish? What's your ultimate goal?
My ultimate goal, I had a gun, I'd shoot one. I don't.
All the time is that, I mean, the talk, the speculation, and everybody agrees, I think, at this opposing brute society, they think somebody's got to land one, take it down.
Yeah.
And I think John will agree, and you've told Mrs. Chuck that if you do take one down, you got to take apart the body immediately or to prove it, because
I've thought it all out a billion times in my brain.
If you leave the body, I would bet everything I own that you would not find it anymore.
My first impression, my last when I came out here was, I was one on the other side where you can't shoot a Sasquatch. That's horrible to do. I was on that side. And I started listening to what John was saying. It's the only way. It's the only way. And I started thinking, if I want to do this, if I want to do it right, that is the only way. It doesn't matter how good my film is. I can get close-ups, this, that, and everything else. It'll never be 100%.
I'd never believe it.
Personally,
Right.
I don't know if there's a weapon, a legal weapon, that doesn't belong to the U.S. military that you can use to take one down. I'm sure you can hit it, but I'm under the assumption that the adrenaline in our body, I've seen some human beings firsthand do some amazing things. If a little girl hit her head on the pavement while skating off in a tow truck in front of me as a boy, she ran down, what I thought she was dead. She ran down and died in her mother's arms about 100 yards down the road, but it's called dead. She's dead. And I've seen a chicken with its head cut off. Chuck can attest to deer that he shot that's running around, doesn't know it's dead. So when I hear these stories of Sasquatch being shot, I hear these people say, oh, the muscle's so thick, the ribs, I'll give you that, but still, flesh is flesh, tissue is tissue, no matter how thick it is. And a bullet, when it enters, especially an armor-piercing bullet, I think these things, when they're hit, they know where to go, where to die. It's just that the forest is so impenetrable. Where it lives in its habitat, it's almost impossible to locate a carcass.
Well, that's a theory, but I don't share it. Anything can be killed. If it's alive, it can be killed. And if you plan it right, like a hunt, it's not a regular hunt. You can't hunt it like a deer. You hunt it like a person. A smart person. A person who knows what they're doing in the woods. Not that I'm not saying that they're people, but I'm saying as smart as we are out in the city, that's as smart as they are in the bush. So you have to respect that. That's my opinion.
You're in their element.
Yeah.
You're in their backyard.
And you gotta, it's like no matter how tough Mike Tyson is, there's somebody tougher.
Yeah.
So you gotta be tougher.
You've orienteered the island. How well acquainted are you with your end of the island?
My end of the island, I can get around no problem. Yeah.
Where's your line of demarcation? The line in the sand, so to speak, where you will not cross that denotes the southern part of the island. I mean, is there a point where you said this is the end of my tether, I'm going no further? Have you felt it that I shouldn't go any farther here?
I really haven't drawn any lines.
I'm just saying,
but yeah, I haven't gone past
tree line. There's bold whatever.
I don't like going down certain part of it.
Have you found any piles of rocks or anything like that, or
Yeah.
How are they shaped? Are they
no, that's a different story. I find not big piles. Like these are rocks that anybody can do, like marking trails 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 of them, 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the top. I find that, and what I do, I just kick the top one off whenever I see that, just to see what happens. And so far nothing's happened. But then again, I've only been out there 28 days.
You found these strange scraping on trees.
Just yesterday, last night, that's when I was out there and you showed me. This is something I wanted to tell you. But the 14-inch, I didn't have a chance. But the one tree we found, there were lateral lines across it. Like something was scraping the bark off. There were lateral lines, and John and I were looking at that. What could cause that? We thought maybe it was whacking a tree against, a branch against the bark. But it took a knife and cut across. And we were watching it and thought, well, I mean, not watching it, but they were all over the place, even up 10, 12 feet high, things we couldn't reach. And then John put his fingernail, I don't have any fingernails, put his fingernail and dragged his fingernail across. And it made the exact same mark, except on a scale, like 1/10 the size. So what we concluded was, it was cleaning its fingernails. It put its fingernails in the bark and dragged it across 50, 60, 70 times, as well as dragging them down. I can show you that anytime you want to see it.
Have you ever heard wood on wood?
No.
Rocks?
No.
Any other anomalous scream? That's fantastic.
That was the first time I've ever encountered anything like that.
Okay, never heard no scream before.
No. And I have to give total credit to John Miles, because that was his spot. He took me there, and he said he'd done that before, and I didn't believe him. And he did the call. I was more interested in this fence I was looking at, this old fence. He did the call. I wasn't listening. I didn't even have the camera on. all of a sudden we heard the noise from on the bush. I got my camera ready and couldn't get it going fast enough. I was hoping, like, oh my God, I knew I only had maybe 2 or 3 minutes left to tape. I wasn't prepared to be out there because I was away from my camp, visiting him at his camp, and I was on my way back to Harrison. But he said, let's just go, I'll show you the spot. So I took my stuff with me, and here I am, finally out in the field, getting my one moment. And I'm like, like Roger Patterson, not enough film, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Isn't that all the story? How close is that?
Well, I learned a good lesson that time. I got done to 2 months. Always be prepared, no matter what. Always be prepared.
How close do you think you were to the
That's
southern end of the island?
Oh, pardon me?
How close do you think you were to the southern end of the island, the spot where it took?
Oh, I don't want to give that spot away.
Okay,
because I was asked not to.
I'm not even interested, I'm just saying.
But very far.
So you weren't at this?
No, not at all. Very, very far. So it might be blowing my particular theory all to hell. But I don't think so. Like I said, I think there's definitely more than one individual. I shouldn't say that. One individual for sure. Probably 3. Youngster, 2 parents. I think there might be 2 adolescents as well. I'm finding these really, really big tracks. And I don't know if the tracks or not because they're so but huge, 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 huge tracks. 22 inches, and I think that's just too big to be a track. But I found them a few times. So I'm keeping my eye,
You can't say though that it's too big to be a track.
But
this isn't material where tracks show particularly.
You can't take it too seriously.
You gotta. It's a depression, but
it's not pronounced such that you can see this.
How the tracks have been working is we have been finding them. The young track, the 8-inch track, shows up a lot more because it doesn't know where to walk as much. And the 16.5-inch track is often around the 8-inch track because it's whatever taking care of it. This is what I'm coming up with. I could be completely wrong.
No, as if it's cloaking. The young one hasn't learned to cloak its footprints to cover
the other tracks. Yeah, and the other tracks, the 11-inch and the 14-inch, they've been shown up a couple times, but not so often. And it's the 22-inch track I've only seen a few times. Very rarely, and you only ever find one. You never find another one that goes with it, so it might not be a track at all. But I found them a few times, and they're just immense.
22 inches.
Yeah, immense. You if you ever get a chance to fit, I don't have a ruler on it, but 22 inches and look at it and imagine. It's immense.
And that would...
Ever seen one that 22 inches?
It would obviously have to be... You'd have to equate something that size to the creature that you had encountered in 1996 in order to make the ground shake where you actually felt your body.
Yeah, well, the creature that came to visit me was the 16.5-inch one. Because I measured it and I could see the toes. I could make it all out perfect. Because I was out there, daybreak. As soon as the sun was coming up, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, whatever time it was. As soon as I could see, I was there looking for tracks. Wow, there it was. By the time the people in the boat got up, which was 9 or 10 o'clock, the moss was lifting. I got my video camera out. Of course, I showed John that he couldn't see a thing because it just doesn't show up on video.
Don't you got a still camera?
No.
You should. Still cameras take
I
a
don't
lot
want to
better
hear
pictures
shit
than
anymore.
video.
I should have a lot of things.
Nothing will show tracking moss.
The bottom line is I'm out there and I don't have money.
Naturally,
I can't afford the
Yeah.
camera. My camera's broken. So I'm just...
I'm saying if you can see toes, well, if you have a good flash on your camera, it's going to enhance
I
that toes.
I don't have a good camera. I don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
All I have is a video camera. If my video camera goes when our expedition's over, I can't afford it.
How are you doing financially right now? You've been fine.
No.
How are you doing for food?
I'll cross that road when it comes. I just ran out. I'm down to my last box of graft dinner, a few potatoes. I started this little publicity campaign last week. Put my ads in the paper, got fundraising bins out, hoping people will give me some money. I don't want money in your pocket.
I got it, man. All I ask out of you is a call in a couple of months. Trust me.
That's not it. The point I'm trying to make is just...
It'll get you by. It'll get these. Don't hesitate to walk. It's for the story, trust me. I get me to move.
What's that up here? Jeez, I got to
Just take it. Trust me.
I'm not going to turn it down, but that wasn't the
Don't
point.
turn it down. It's got nothing to do with pride, but I think your research for the sake of the community and why we're here and for doing this work to fund a researcher. If I had 100, I'd have 100. If I had $1,000, I'd throw $1,000 in your lap right now, because what you're doing right now, you're on the cutting edge of the research, so don't worry about it. Just go on, man. That's all.
Those sounds that you heard on the TV, this year I have on tape recording. You're just standing out of an area, right out of the woods. Almost same exact sound. I mean,
just promise someday.
And I had some guys listening to it. That's an owl. That's
back of this brochure where I am. If you guys ever run,
we're flying out tomorrow night or Monday.
Monday night.
Where are you spending the night tomorrow?
I don't even know. Don is just out right now. I mean,
probably a hotel or after the conference we may head towards Seattle. I'm not sure. We haven't crossed that bridge.
Well, you know,
certainly don't want to oppose it.
Mike wanted to get into the conference.
Thank you very much.
You want to go to the conference?
Back.
Well, if you guys aren't coming back, I'm not going to bother you. You know, that's like an hour and a half out of your way drive, so that's it just doesn't. The only reason I wanted to go to the conference was
don't matter to me.
I wanted to meet.
Yeah.
And I was hoping I could hand out my pamphlets. Maybe someone would.
Krantz was there today. I don't think he'll be back tomorrow. He may, but there's other guys. There's a John Bendernado.
He's got my story.
He knows John.
John's, who's very interested right now.
Bendernado, you should see him going crazy over Ohio. He wants to come to Ohio.
We can get you there. We may come back here tomorrow. Are you
I
staying
understand,
overnight? Put it this way. Let's talk about it tomorrow, okay?
Okay, just wait till Don DeWerth is downstairs and he
We're
is
ourselves to the wind.
He'll go down there.
Were you talking to Tom Steenberg at all?
I talked to Tom. I was very impressed.
I just wondered if he indicated when he was coming back.
I think
I didn't hear him.
Tuesday. I'm not sure, but I didn't even know that he was talking about that.
Well, like you'd have to know.
5 hours.
Came in here on his way down.
5 hours
home.
long way.
He indicated he was coming back on his way back.
I wonder how long it would take for one of those to swim over.
Not long. Fell on that tape plane on Stock 2 with us one time, and he had a little motorboat with a 2-horse motor on the back of his canoe. And they're out, so he couldn't catch up with him. Everybody else around.
J. Richard Greenwell is
I heard that.
He's ISC, International Society of Cryptozoology.
Were you talking to Jim Buchan at all?
I didn't get a chance to speak to Jim. No.
He is there.
I'm not sure because I'm
thinking
his name was
name.
mentioned.
There's a lot of people that.
Yeah.
His name was mentioned.
Can I interject something here? I'm sorry. While I was away, the fellow at the fruit stand, Ron, told me that there was a guy in town last Sunday. I missed him by half an hour when I went back out to the bush. He was looking for you. He was coming to visit you. He was doing expeditions all over the world. He's a rich guy, whatever. And he was coming over to visit you. Was there such a person? Peter Byrne. That's what I thought.
No, Peter Byrne is not rich.
He said this guy like reaped the money, and he was writing the expedition thing, and he said he was expeditions all over the world, and he was coming over to see you. This was his conversation passing as he was buying fruit at the fruit stand. And I
How long ago was it?
Last Sunday.
There?
BBC's down.
A week ago or
1 week.
There was a guy who came to see me last week, but I don't think it would be him. I don't think he had any problem finding me.
No, this fellow apparently didn't have any problem finding you. It wasn't that he had any problem finding you or nothing. It's just that the guy at the fruit stand said he was on his way to see you. That's all. I was wondering who that was.
Probably was me. I got a no.
There was nobody important.
Well, the fellow that
was
did
him.
come, I didn't
There was nobody
really believe he was
important.
rich, but he did say that he went all over the world.
Maybe that's the same person.
Could have been the same guy.
Did you mention to him that I was out there?
What island do you want to do?
I'm just curious, what kind of people are going to come up with this.
I don't remember, but I presume I did, but I
What I will do, when we go back to the conference tomorrow, if we'll decide whatever.
You know what?
I know that Sunday is the attendance was full. Instantly. I say virtually 90% of the audience. Mark counted 84 people. I said there's less. Were researchers, speakers.
The public isn't coming.
No, it's not. The public.
It was the same year. The public isn't coming.
The public never comes. It's the people that are interested, like are researchers. And what the field does is it picks up researchers.
There were some
But
public,
they're dumpers, and they just start from the bottom, learning from the baby of the Abominable Snowman story of Edmund Hillary to the beginnings of the Patterson Gimlin film. Then they find out about John, and they find out about Dahinden. But there are a lot of people there that their palate's wet to see this creature. And Don spoke at the conference tonight, and Don's spot in Ohio, in America, I think, in the United States, is the hot spot right now. Saying North America.
I think it's just that we got an area down where, I mean, it's pretty much a science. I mean, John, you can go out there.
We'll get back to that in a second.
Stuff will happen. Just like he with the sounds. You go out there and just be quiet and all. It's like that. It's just like you heard on TV. That when I.
You all set? All right. But what we can do is, I want to help you. There are people there that would be interested, that would be fascinated by this, and it's the researchers. Now, when we get back to the conference, if we don't return here, you know, how can I get a hold of you, and where do we send you?
Here's the best thing to do, okay?
Well, Mike, I think if you go down there tomorrow, it's almost certain you'll be able to pick up a ride with somebody.
Well, you know, John, what I've learned since I started
Well,
this.
now you've got $40, you could buy the best ticket if you had to.
Yeah, I got money.
But,
That's, I think what John says is that, because
well,
John,
people there to be somebody.
and John being the preeminent.
That was my big thing for coming out this weekend. Like, I don't like leaving my camp on the weekends because that's when the campers are there. You know, it's like having people walking through your house when you're not around.
Yeah.
But I had to get to that conference, and if I'm going to maintain my existence out there, I got to get to that conference and meet people, shake hands.
Yeah.
And I just, I come into town and I didn't have enough money for bus fare up there.
How much does it cost for bus fare?
I'm down to where I don't even have $10 for bus fare. I'm making $600 a week at a job.
The other problem that we're dealing with right now is it took Mark probably a half hour to close the trunk because we're overpacked with our trunk, and we'd be carrying items with us in the back seat. If we'd have
Small vehicle.
Yeah.
Hold on.
If I were looking at the back basement window at John Green's place, and here's part of one of the hills there, right there. But thought I'd show you a couple of the maps that he's got sitting out. Southwestern British Columbia, Canada map there. The Harrison Hot Springs area is right there.
As far as streams go, is your common commonality between streams? I've heard, by 10 different streams. Never heard one personally, but I'm sure you only had witness descriptions. You had other descriptions. You heard me on the tape.
Six Rivers National Forest, northern half of California.
when I was taping. So I got the impression that whatever was carrying around the tree was.
Need a pen?
This is just a feeling.
That's why I bought it.
Yeah, well,
He got worried.
we know there are more than one
Yeah,
at a time,
yeah.
so there very well could be.
I got the impression they may have been resting or just laying low until it got dark.
Hi, John.
You know how you say they go to an area, they want to cross a certain specific
Hi,
area.
Chuck.
This is in a valley.
Hi, Don.
There was a few dirt roads going through it. Maybe they just wanted to wait it out till night and then make their move.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Do you mind if I videotape your map on the wall over there?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
That's the
Sure.
Oh, neat.
Was it exciting?
Not interesting.
Yeah. Dueling camcorders.
Oh, I'm on film. Well, you on film.
Dark gray and one thought it was black.
When I go to spray it up, there's nothing right here. Looks like there's
Not sure that's the exact. But the other thing it says is that the method of locomotion was that of a snake on a pond, except that it was vertical instead of horizontal. So there's your typical
Undulating on a I've always thought, and I've looked into old New England sea records up. And again, that this is off the record because you don't have, it does not fit your criteria that you set as an official sighting yet.
No, I don't know of any sighting on that hill, but why wouldn't there be? You're just looking at sort of one end of it. It's a big hill.
Is that why you wanted me to go up there so bad that one time?
But that hill is way bigger than this one. Yeah. I've just been up.
Wow, they got the JV Tree Company here too. We got those in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Like a little photo of you with me.
I don't know.